All right.
We're cooking with gas.
All right. Episode 5 of Teddy's Vinyl Club podcast. Still not sponsored by Wayfair. These chairs were put together by me, by hand.
Not the tool? Did
No.
they give you a little Allen key?
No, I twisted the screws with my bare hands. Yeah, so she can't keep doing that crying. Today's guest,
Bitches do.
a very special one, known each other for a long time. You may know him as Austin Underwood. You may know him as Austin the Dove. Lovebird. We're currently Lovebird, yes?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lovebird.
Thank you very much. I've been doing this for so long. Sucks that we need an introduction still.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on the program here.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm glad that we get to talk about music and
Absolutely.
fucking get after it because we're snobs, man.
Yeah. Obviously, I know your background and your history, but if you would, for the audience's sake, just your general bio, how you got into music, all the good stuff.
Oh man, how I got into music.
That's always my favorite part.
Jeez, I think at one point I was just like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like when I was in 8th grade, I was just like, oh my god, like I have so much life ahead of me.
I could be
anything. And you know, and like you're thinking about colleges and shit, and like it's
All right,
super
man.
confusing. All right,
I don't think I might let her in.
no.
Teddy. Come here.
Get your licks in.
Come here.
I don't know. I somehow came across a video of John Bellion making music in a studio, and I was like,
But did you have like the love of music when you were young? Was it always a thing?
no,
No.
I don't think so. I think what was beautiful about it, like, came to fruition, like, while I was creating. You know what I mean? So, like, I figured it out. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the most beautiful shit in the world, and I had no idea. And you're, like, 50 records in. You know what I mean? And you're just like, you have this big realization of, like...
Did you sing though in school and stuff, like chorus and all?
No, I mean, like... I mean, I did it to go, like, to Six Flags.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, they kind of dangle that in front
Can't
of you.
miss out on that.
Yeah, it's like, you can't, gotta miss a day of school for that. But, yeah, no, I mean, like, people grow up and they grow up listening to Wu-Tang and all these people, and I didn't really have that background growing up. Like, I wasn't raised in, like, a music household. It was very Christian-like. It was very, just go to church on Sunday and...
Church choir?
Nah, I wasn't a choir boy.
Fuck no.
Absolutely not.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I listened to some Seal. I had an Aerosmith album that I drummed to.
Uh-huh.
It was really like whatever you can find around the house. Like, it really wasn't like a music household. It was very godly.
So when did the transition go to, I'm gonna make and release music?
Man, I don't know. You just end up there. Like, I just kind of ended up there, and it
Like
was
college age? Did you go to college at all?
Yeah, for a semester. Yeah, I went in there and I was like, even my professor was like, "What are you doing here?" Because I was there for music.
You are unfit.
Yeah, he was just like, "Yo, like, if you guys want to do music, just go fucking do music." And I was like,
Yeah.
that makes all the sense in the world. Like, I'm not gonna sit down in a studio with my professor and we're gonna make a beat and I'm gonna sing over it. Like, I'm gonna learn how to wrap cables here and
So
plug
around
in a
that time,
PA
though.
system.
So around like college time though.
Yeah. I was already I think I was already creating. I started creating like my senior year of high school. I think. Oh wait, no. Here you go. I made some shit when I was a junior. Because I was like riding off the high of like watching that John Bellion video. I was like, I want to make music. So like, I just did like 3 trash ass records. Got bullied for it. And then I was like, all right, well, I mean, I'm not going to stop doing this. I'm going to figure this out.
I think that's part of how you know if, like, you know, you're getting shit for it and you're still like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I had an experience where I was going to college and still just trying to do it anyway. Like, I was just going to the tech center instead of studying. I was, like, using the little vocal booth that I guess you were supposed to use for, like, I don't know, audio.
Voice work.
Yeah, like voiceovers for, like, your PowerPoint presentation.
Right.
I was just fucking, Daddy, get down.
Women.
She is loving, you gotta give her that. But, yeah, man, I was like, I would go to the tech center like, oh, let me study for this exam tomorrow. And I was like, an hour break, I'll record this little rap that I made. And, yeah, that's the way I kind of transitioned out of it.
That's a way to
Yeah.
use your debt.
So, what about the first project that you put out? When was that?
The first project I put out was this year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is like your first full-length project.
Wait. No, was that Raven? Did I do Raven?
I don't know.
I think I did one project like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But I mean, like, the first, like, real project where I was like, here's my music, I'm showcasing it. This is on display.
Yeah.
This is what I can do. It was this year.
Well, I'm a big fan of the project.
Thank you.
And I only mention your name changes because I think it's very important how you brand yourself. And I think kind of through all your different evolutions, you've had a different, I don't want to say like a different branding of yourself, but there's been a lot of intention between like the way that you promote yourself, the way you market yourself. So, like, what went into this album in particular? Because it's a wild album cover. You're at the top, fucking.
Oh yeah.
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 So, what was the thought like behind the whole project, and what did you want to kind of convey with it?
You know, like, it's like kind of just like the out the sunroof shit was like such like a shock value thing. You know what I mean? It's like what's gonna get somebody to click on this and listen to it? Because like, how do you do that with a picture?
Yeah.
So it was just like, let's just fucking think of the hardest shit possible from one of the songs, and it's really just like the Cupid's Perspective record that like I believed in a lot on that project. So I was just like, yeah, let me pop out the sunroof.
Yeah.
With a big old gun.
What about production wise? Like, do you feel a lot of change between the production that you used to have when you first started making music and the stuff now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, when you learn as you go, so it's kind of like you get to a point where you're finally driving. You know what I mean? Like, you have everybody else doing what they do, and then when you're able to articulate your words well and finally figure out what's kind of happening on the screen, you can be like, oh, this is what I want. You know what I mean? Like, you can just sit down and drive.
Yeah.
And it's just super fun. Man, what was the question?
Like the production, because I feel like your stuff now is a lot. The production's a lot darker, I feel like, but it's more like consistent, cohesive. I feel like.
Yeah. I think we just finally found it.
Would you say this is like the best representation of your sound?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, like, this is totally what I'm gonna be running with for like the rest of it, and it really just comes down to like whatever I feel like making. I think music is like a translation of frequencies like through the person. So it's just like wherever I'm at now, it's like pretty much what it's gonna sound like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like different people can bring different shit out of you. Like when I make music with Knox, it's like nuts. It's like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
How is he bringing this out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, she's wild.
Dude, she's wild though. But I feel like as long as it's all representation of yourself to some extent, that's all that matters. Yeah, like for my first project, it was cohesive. It was like consistent with the sound.
Oh, that's so good.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like it was the best representation of myself. Because like, it was a very sad album, and I was like, I'm not like a sad guy, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I was at the time, but it was like just I feel like it was one thought that I had to get out, or like one time in my life I had to talk about.
Yeah. And I mean that's like really the crack at it. Like I feel like your first project is just like the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm so excited to release Timmy Burner, dude. It's just it's brighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, I think as a first project, like I think you got your fucking shit off, yo. Like
Me?
yeah. Kidding me?
I did. I had some shit to say.
Yeah, when you said it, I was like, oh shit.
Well, for me, when I make a project, I like it to be very, I don't know, I like it to have like a structure to it, whether it's telling a story or like it's all in the same theme or the same type of sound. Like I always try to tell a story with an album.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think I follow a structure. And I think when you just make music, like as a musician, like if you're a good one, like they'll all kind of be, like you'll look at your folder and be like this, that, in this order, and it's like perfect. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it all falls into place. If you let it.
Yeah.
You know?
We talked a little bit in the car about the idea of like independent versus being with a label. So, what are your thoughts on that? Why you seem to side with the label?
You're fucked either way, buddy. Yeah, I think no matter what, I feel like we're always racing to get to the scam.
The scam?
Oh yeah.
Which is?
Well, if you get signed,
You're fucked.
you're fucked, and if you don't, you're fucked. You know what I mean? But it's all about finding like-minded individuals. I think if I find somebody with money that's like, okay, I'm gonna let you be a musician, and I'm just gonna let you cook. I was like, look, like I'll keep spending money. Like I'll spend money on, like the whole point of this is to give. If I have to give for free, or if I have to give with a budget, I'm gonna give. So if you want to jump on, you can jump on.
But the part about a label that bothers me is it's all controlled. Like telling you when you can release music. I think they even influence like what it has to sound like to a certain extent.
Well, labels want artists. We're musicians. The difference between a musician and an artist is musicians can say, suck my dick. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like
Really? That's what you think musician versus an artist? What's an artist then?
a loser.
No, I think the other way. Well, actually, I don't really make a big distinction, but I feel like artists, like at its core, is like whatever your art is.
Okay.
I feel like it's almost like artist versus recording artist, or like
I'm
label
sorry.
artist.
Yeah, there you go. That was the disconnect there. I was trying to say, like, artists that are signed to labels, like, if you dangle a look in front of somebody and they're like, I will give up my art to do it, I was a loser. And I was like, I don't want to fucking be a loser anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, what made you think that?
I knew it. I was sure. I was like, I am a loser right now.
Like, what quality contributes to that, though?
People just telling me to do shit and I'm doing it. And I don't know why.
Yeah, but see, that's my issue with the label. I feel like I would rather not take the money and just do my own thing, like my most authentic self.
Well, you're gonna be happier that way. So like it's racing to get to the scam, and then when you get there, you got to be like, yo, I know if I sign to you, I'm never gonna pay you back because I'm not gonna get a dime of the parking. I'm not gonna get a dime of the alcohol sold. You're gonna put my fucking tickets on sale. There's gonna be a big Lovebird blowout ticket sale. Tickets are $5 now, dickhead. And now I'm asked out. And it's not even. And it's like, it's not even gonna be the fact that I don't want to pay them back. They don't want to pay themselves back. And that's why we're all racing to get to that, to say, hey, I know what this is, and they can be like, well, fuck off. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, bring in the next loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we didn't want a winner here.
Well, my thing when I was making a deal was, like, I knew that I was very bottom of, like, priority list. So I was like, okay, well, if I do shows in Philly that I book and figure out myself and whatever, it's less than this dollar amount. If I put out music that's completely free, non-profit, I want to be able to do that whenever I want.
Yeah.
And they just, like, you know, there was no word back on that. I think it was kind of just like a, like who are you to make whatever arrangements in the situation?
Yeah, I was and you're just sitting there like, the fucking money.
Yeah, well, because the other thing is,
money is making the decision.
I think labels especially think that artists are just, there's a million of them out there. So if you don't want this money, we'll find the next.
Exactly.
Unless you're so big independently that it's like, no, we need this guy.
Or if you're such the cream. You know what I mean?
Of the crap.
Of the crap.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just like, I think cream, no matter what, is gonna rise. So it's just like, it's just time to make really good music.
I don't know. I love to think that. I used to think that. I was talking about this with my girlfriend. It's like, it's not even just music, man. Like, I realized it's even sports, Yeah. Like, there's so many guys that are so talented.
On D3. Never going to get the look.
They don't go to the right school. They don't get their recruiters coming to their game. They're not playing against the right people. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's the same way in music. Like, even Anderson .Paak, right? He said he was like, what? Like, at the end of his rope, like, about to give up. I think he was living at his friend's house. And then he got a deal, like, the next week or something. And I feel like there's so many people like that are super talented. I mean, me, I think. Cam Sunday, talented as fuck. But, like, everyone, we all have our conversations and get our looks. But I think there's something about the industry that is just on to the next if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened to me. Like
they want someone that can be a puppet, honestly.
Yeah. And that's, like, some loser shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was a puppet. I was a loser. You know what I mean? Like, I did it. Like, I was in a deal. Like, it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Sucked. Like, I was just like, I've never met people that were so capable do so much nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, you are so, like, I know you're capable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but, like the amount of nothing that y'all do is, like, just blows my mind. And then they ask you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay. And then, it's like they put $500 into a music video.
Mm-hmm.
Gets like 80K views, and then nothing after that, and they're just like, it's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, no, you just stop putting money into it.
Right, and it's like you can't even
really. You guys are the ones telling me that you have to put buckets of money into a single to make it pop.
Right, and you can't do the marketing, you can't do the promo yourself.
Like, what am I gonna do? There's nothing I can do. So I know there's something somebody can.
Sounds like you're anti-label.
Oh yeah. I'm anti-loser shit.
All right.
Like, it's just like not the vibe. It's just like I would be pro label if labels were pro musician.
I think you should stay independent.
I think so too. I do enjoy it.
I will say it's like the other thing behind Teddy's Vinyl Club is I feel like I got tired of making music because you put in so much effort, and obviously there's the satisfaction that you get just as a musician because you love your music and you love creating.
Oh, the creations.
But there's something about it that can get to be... Yeah. Like, there's not enough, I guess, reward coming from it. Whether it's monetarily, whether it's growing your fan base sometimes. A lot of times it's just a labor of love, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, by making the Vinyl Club, I felt like that was a way to share other people's stories, to get everyone's idea in one place about how are we marketing ourselves, what's the strategy. Because I feel like everyone's looking for a blueprint. That doesn't exist when it comes to music.
Yeah, no.
So it's also another way for me to just have an avenue into music where it doesn't have to be so, let me put all my energy into this thing and hope to make $1 off it. Like, this can be just me living and talking like I usually do about music.
Yeah.
Which is what I like about it.
I love that.
So do you have a sort of strategy when you approach music to try to grow? Is it like a numbers game, like release as much music as quick as you can?
Oh, you mean just like... So, like, for, like... I've actually been off of, like, the selfish shit.
And I think it is to an extent, too, like a numbers game. Like, putting out as much music as you can, because it's all about staying relevant, staying in people's faces. But a lot of people are more quality over quantity, too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that giving something familiar is important, because I think that that's what everybody wants at the end of the day. I think that they
Familiar in
want
what
something
sense do you
that's
think?
just familiar, just something that's familiar to them. So like if you release a project, like the next project should kind of somehow follow that blueprint still.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So, but when it comes to like growing like the fan base and like my money and shit, like I've been pretty much like off that, because like I feel like that's, at the end of the day, if I'm thinking about that, like the music, it's gonna show in the music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
It's
I
like
don't want it to.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, there you go. It's from musicians and artists. It's like, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, like we gotta play the show, we gotta get paid. It's like, yeah, that'll come. But like right now, I'm so focused on just giving, like for free. You know what I mean? And it's not even I'm not even giving it for free. Like, it's free to everybody else, but it takes money and time and energy, and you know what I mean. But like that's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah.
Really. And I think that's gonna show in the music. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So much forward to that.
I wonder, do you go through stages? Like for me personally, I went through a run last year where I put out a lot of singles, and I think I ended it with Peter Parker with Asher, where
Good record.
like I don't think people realize how much buildup there is into the recording, the writing, the mixing, the mastering, the marketing that goes into it. And then especially when I got to Peter Parker, it was like, all right, we have a well-known, successful artist, like let's put all our effort into the promo, the video, whatever, all the little clips that we're going to do for it.
Right.
So after I released that, I just took a big break, and people around me at the time were like, oh, and when's like the next record coming? Which I agree is also important, because you got to, you got to ride the high to an extent. Like if you're getting all that traffic and that traction, you got to build off of it. But I don't think people realize enough like how much effort goes into just the production of one song.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I feel like I need to live and experience and get out of that just production headspace for a minute to be able to make art.
Yeah.
So do you feel that same way? Like, do you need to live to be able to make music first?
Wow. Yeah, I think so. I think my flowers don't really grow in rain. You know what I mean?
Break that down for me.
I have what?
Break that one down for me.
So like,
hold on, let me figure it out. Actually, my flowers don't grow in rain.
Oh, or my bad, in sunlight.
We just changed the whole fucking
Let's
thing.
change the whole thing.
My flowers
flowers
don't grow in
from
sunlight.
rain.
So it's like too much heat. Flowers get cooked. They need a little love, right? Am I onto something?
Like it really just comes from pain.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Fuck, man. Dude, I'm so all over the place.
We're just talking, man.
I don't know.
Nobody's gonna watch this.
But what was the question?
Question: What are you high?
I wish. I probably would be better if I was.
No, my question
Sober is
is,
the problem.
for me, I feel like I really need to live life. So,
Oh yeah.
to back it up, I feel like I was in a period of time where every day I was just, okay, let me sit down and write music, make a beat, whatever. But it just drains you and it takes it out of you. So I feel like you need to just live life, have
recharge your
relationships,
battery.
experiences. Yeah. Do you feel that way? And does that go into your projects at all?
I mean, like, it does and it doesn't, because, like, I do this thing where, like, well, like, the big breakthrough I had was, like, giving music, like, sentience. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, like, I treat it like it's, like, a living, breathing thing, and that can be good and bad if you do that with anything, because, like, after a while, like, it'll just be, like, where you at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, like if you leave your dog at home all day, like you feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're driving home, like fuck, I didn't leave the light on, like I didn't. But no, like I usually, like I was kind of like sitting down in front of whatever beat I was working on. Like, what do you want me to say? You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like it would kind of tell me.
Yeah.
In a way.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so like, you know, and like each beat's like a different thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, like I would talk about it like yeah, she's cool, but like we like haven't talked in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to give it something, like try to just give it life somehow. And I think that if you don't live, I think that's what eventually starts happening.
Yeah.
I think that you just start to like talk to mirrors and walls in a room.
And you can hear it in the music, I feel like.
Yeah. Which I like, you know what I mean? Like I do like to have like a little bit of insanity somewhere. You know what I mean? Like not evil genius shit, but like genius somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I wonder how... I'd be interested to see, you know, what the breakdown is like that for artists if they can do that. Because like Mac, for example, Faces, I'm pretty sure the setup for that was him just fucking locked in a studio.
Yeah.
Which for me, I don't think that would go well. I don't think it would sound good at the end.
Yeah, I need sunlight.
But for him, like, I mean, I think it's his best project. I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to think like how other people work.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm such a hermit. Like I just want to, like I would love to just wake up and just sit in front of a beat and have it say absolutely fucking nothing to me. And I go to bed.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like not write a single bar down and just go to bed at night. Like that was a good day.
Well, that's always been my style too. Like I'm not a big going out and about type guy. I'm not like flashy type of guy. Like for me, when I was with the label, it was very like go to events in New York, like go to this, show out, and you know everything's got to be flashy and you got to be seen. And it's like, bro, like I'm not gonna make good music that way because like that's not how I live my life.
Yeah, like did you feel like you were just getting like paraded around?
Yeah.
Sucks.
But I think that's part of it. It's like, well, we're investing in you, so you got to be here and here and here.
Which is fine. Like, I get it, but like...
It's fine, but it's
when
like...
it's just like, I'm just shaking hands and people are just saying, like, I'm in good ones. I'm like...
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay. Yeah, like, I would be in situations where they're just like, yo, you want hookah? And I'm like, no, I want to fucking go to the studio. I want to go to the studio. I don't want to smoke hookah with the birds at, iHeart R&B Wednesdays. Like, I don't.
That's the thing, man. Like, I don't smoke. I don't really drink like that. So I don't know, everything was just about, like, taking pictures and smoking and being around these, and it's just, like, also, famous people are, like, they're weirdos, bro, for the most part.
We're all weirdos, yo.
Like, personalities are so, I don't know, everyone's so different. And I feel like once you're, like, so jaded to whatever, the limelight, to being famous, like, it really just shows in your personality. You're just like, you don't even seem like a genuine, like, real person. That's how it was for me.
An artist, man.
So now I'm getting into just doing it comfortably, like, for myself, like, just for my own enjoyment. Whenever I feel it, I'm going to make it.
Good. I love that. All we got to do is give, man. All we got to do is give.
Well, what about the next project for you? Timmy
Burner.
Timmy Burner. Where'd you come up with the name for that? A little shock value again?
No, I mean, I think,
Are you shooting people?
I don't know. I mean, oh yeah. I'm flicking everybody down. I think that was just like, I think that was a good, it's like what we're talking about, like familiarity. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you saw the big gun. And now it's like, okay, it's Timmy Burner, but you know, it's not as shock value of like, but it's still like, it's hard. You know what I mean? So like the cover is like, I sat down to record. It might have been one of the records off the EP, but I was sitting down in front of a microphone after getting like my chest tatted, and like I had like the plastic still on, and I was like, "Yo, can we just do this?" You know what I mean? And like he just like snapped a picture of me, and that's like that's gonna be like the album cover, but fuck. What was the question? I'm a weirdo, yo. I'm sorry. Like it's
just upcoming project in general.
Oh right. But like it's a little bit softer. You know what I mean? So it's not the gun, but it's.
But the music itself, I feel like, is pretty consistent with the first one.
Yeah, good.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I followed the same kind of structure of it. You put the banger where the other banger is. It's pretty easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like I don't understand when people can't like put a project together, but like, it's pretty. Oh, is that?
No, it's still recording.
Oh, okay.
It asked me if I want to use my phone as a microphone. It's like, why would I ever?
But you know, like the first album, I feel like it sounds like a gun out of a sunroof, and then this one totally sounds like, you know, plastic over a tattoo. Like it's just one of those things.
You do have a lot of tattoos.
I love it.
What's your favorite one? Come on, you got one.
I really don't know. I don't think I have a favorite. I love them all.
Are they deeply inspired, or they're just, fuck it, I'll take that.
Just throw it on.
You just like the art?
Yeah, I love it. I just think anybody who does art, it's like I just want you to showcase it. You know what I mean? So like I kind of give my guy a like free reign to kind of do whatever he wants.
I just want to tattoo a little bit, but I never had anything that I'm like crazy enough about that I would, I don't know, that I can commit to it.
Yeah.
I think though I would get to the point though where I would get so many that I would just be like, yeah, just fucking throw something on, just add on to it.
Yeah. I think my next one's gonna be like Buttercup or something, like the Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah.
Throw that on there.
Well, you went Nickelodeon style with the Timmy Turner reference.
Yeah.
Big fan of Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was making the record, I was just in a spot of wishing things were different. So I was like, Timmy Burner, fuck it.
What do you mean wishing things were different?
Oh, you want to get into it?
I want to get into it.
I lost my girl and I lost my deal like within a month.
Why did you lose the deal?
They wouldn't let me do shit.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the most common way it goes.
You just get to the point where you're like, this isn't gonna be fruitful. Like, what was the moment that you knew? Did you have like a moment that was just like super eye opening? That was like, this isn't.
I think it was when they. I don't know, man. Like the whole time, I wasn't happy. Like the entire experience. If I felt like I'm doing maybe what I'm supposed to do to be successful, but I wasn't actually enjoying myself. Like, my family didn't really fuck with the music I was making. I was away from my friends because I was always, like, I was hanging around people that I didn't really like, these label famous artist people. And the music I was making was controlled, like, the sound when I was going to release it.
It's the fucking worst.
And then I think when I got the record offer, it was very low budget because I was, unknown artist. And the whole thing was, well, the record label, she was a social media person.
Right.
So it was like, I have so much to offer as far as marketing and promotion already. And I was like, but like, what does that mean to me? Like, is it in the contract that you're going to post me every single day on Instagram? Like, that you're going to,
Yeah.
I just felt, from the bottom of my heart, from what I experienced so far, I was just going to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, it was just going to be, all right, pump out music for us. We'll see what we can get from you. And that'll be what it is. Also, it was only like a year into me dropping out of school. So I was like, oh, this is fucking easy.
Yeah.
This record deal, shit. I got one already. I won. So I was just like, no, it's all happening too quick. And I'm not happy the way it is. So I got out of it. What was the moment for you?
There were two. And one's super, super funny, so I'll tell you the whole story about that, because
Here we go.
he's gonna love it. But yeah, I think that I knew when a question was met with hostility.
What kind of question?
Like, how many streams do you think is gonna be organic off of this? Got super pissed with me, because I was excited about the release, because we were gonna release Earhart, and I was like, so how many people do you think are gonna like come back to like listen to it? Just being excited. So pissed.
What kind of response?
Even brought it up in a text after, like, yo, you asked how much is gonna be organic. Nothing is. I'm like, all I do is create organic shit. Like, what do you? you know what I mean? Like, things are organic here. Like, things are...
Well,
like,
I mean, that is...
And it was a fucking question,
It's a tough question to answer.
Just be like, a lot. A lot, because the song is good.
A million.
Hundreds. Well, you know, like, I didn't know the game.
I think that also probably hit at, like, an insecurity of them. It's like, how legit are you? Like, what are you really going to offer me? May have hurt their pride a little bit.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I was just excited.
I'm a nice boy.
I didn't mean to. I did have to come at somebody, but the second big one was they got me with this writer.
Mm-hmm.
And first time I meet him, like, I listen to some of his shit, it's good, but like, he makes stuff for him. You know what I mean? He's his own artist.
Yeah.
So like, the first thing he said to me was like, "Yo, you're an awesome writer, but like, all you do is just like say a bunch of cool shit." I'm like,
What's the problem?
yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, what's wrong with that?
Sound like you?
I was like, am I not supposed to say like dope shit every line? And then he was just kind of like, so I was like, okay, like, I should have wrung his neck at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like,
Well, I mean, if they're gonna change your writing, like, what do you think they liked about you? If they're gonna set you up with someone that's gonna change,
I don't know, maybe singing white boy, marketable, but like, I wanted to make hip hop shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's like hip hop everywhere throughout, like, just riddled. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'd make trap. It's like, nah, it's like, I use elements and I love it and I don't want to lose that. They're just like, nah, pop. But yeah, he was like a pop writer. And he was like, yeah, you're good, but like, all you do is just say a bunch of cool shit. And then he was like, make sure you work well with me, because the last person that they signed, the reason why it didn't work out is because he couldn't get along with me. Which, looking back at it, I wish that I was in the right frame of mind at the time, because I was getting manipulated by everybody,
right,
and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I was like, okay, so I have to work well with you, so that way I can just maintain this, because I was more scared to lose it, than to keep it for some reason. Like, and it's nuts to me that like I was doing that, but that's like some manipulative ass shit to say. And then he proceeded to be fucking trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're just sitting there, like, just trying, like, I'm driving to Brooklyn to make this trash ass shit, and I can't speak up, because if I tell these guys, yo, this guy ain't cutting it, this is dog shit, they could just be like, well, if you can't work with him, then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That was what I was scared of. So I was so when I finally got out of my deal, he they looked at this dude while I was at K-Max studio in like Edgewater, and they bring this dude in, and he walks in, and he's got cowboy boots, right, a suit, and a beanie that had like bunny ears.
Not my cup of tea, but
They looked at him and said, what should he do with his music?
They asked you that?
They asked him. The guy dressed like that. What I should do
What
with
you should do.
my shit. I said, oh, fuck.
Did this guy have any like pedigree, any success to speak of?
No.
Like, what made him the guy?
The fact that he was free, maybe. The fact that they didn't have to pay him.
Was
But
the money good?
What?
Was the money good? Like, what enticed you to choose this label?
They bought me dinner, and then they bought me a Uber Black back to my car.
That'll do it.
They'll do it for sold. Thanks for the Uber Premiere, bud. But yeah, I was at like a baseball game with my parents once, and he like dropped me his album, and I was like, okay, cool, like I'll check it out. And then he goes, yo, by the way, like I love what you're doing now. Like I'm glad that you got out of that and you're doing what you're doing. After
Wait,
I remember him.
Guy?
What?
This is the bunny ears guy?
This is bunny ears, yeah.
So he was out of it too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, they went to the studio. We clicked spacebar, and they were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. You brought him in. Like, I thought I could do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was capable of doing this. But I was at a Phillies game with my parents, and he dropped me his album. I was like, I'll give it a listen. And then he said that, and then he was like, yeah, like that. Yeah, they were never going to do anything for you. I was like, yeah, I knew that when they looked at the guy wearing cowboy boots, a suit, and bunny ears on his head, what to do with my music.
Yeah.
I knew I was fucked.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
And he was like super offended by that. Which like kind of blew my mind because like
you said that
yes,
out loud?
Yes, I texted that to him.
To the bunny ears guy.
Yes, I was like, yeah, I knew I was fucked when they looked at you.
He's probably like, hey,
Andy,
man, I like that fucking hat.
Yeah, I hope that shit hit the bin. I did him the biggest favor. If he ended up throwing that fit away, but him and his wife.
Oh man,
you're welcome.
Yeah,
but yeah, like super offended, and I was like, dude, like you said some manipulative ass shit. I told you the truth. My anger is with them, obviously. It's not with you. If I was wearing the fit and they looked at me and like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, you know what? All right.
Just a cog in the machine, man.
You got me.
Cog in the machine.
You got me. They probably shouldn't have asked me wearing that what to do with your music.
Yeah.
Mr. Leather Jacket and Doc Guy.
Nothing wrong with that though.
Get the fuck out of here. It was just super fucked.
It just sucks when music is like manipulated and manufactured because it's just so anti what music is.
Yep, all your projects are great. All the ones that I've heard this year. Everybody.
So going forward, you're just fuck it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's just like, yo, I'm gonna pop out on social media. To say, yo, I'm dropping heat, and then I can be like, bye, bye. I am out of here. Fuck TikTok. Fuck Instagram.
But can it be done?
Yes.
If music is still the full-time pursuit, how do you get from A to B without that?
No, it's all about people, you know, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll be okay.
All right.
I think at some point you just got to give it to God. Hope for the best.
Have you found yourself being more religious through this experience?
Fuck no.
No?
No. At this point, I just want God to stay out of my way.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, then how can you leave it in his hands?
And if God is a woman, probably is, because she never listens and she's always in my way. Yeah. I think I looked at him for so long and nothing.
God?
Oh, yeah.
God's about to get real deep.
Oh, yeah.
You pray?
No. And a brain, man.
Maybe a little prayer. Might do it.
Maybe I'll say one.
Yeah.
For old time's sake.
I feel like sometimes God presents himself in the situations around you, the situations he gets you out of, the people he takes out of your life, the people he brings back into your life.
Happy you're here, man.
There you go.
It's good to see you, man.
So what are you listening to lately? I always like to throw that in there.
Ooh, could I actually take a piss real quick and get back to this?
Please do.
Alright.
Word. We will go.
I want to get back to that God thing.
Yeah, get into it.
I think where I struggle with that is like I was in something super fear-based. You know what I mean?
What
and
was it?
My last relationship. You know what I mean? And it was just like it's just so like anything fear-based is just like evil to me now. And like I just think back to like the revivals they were hosting, the like Old Testament shit. It's like It just feels like they're just scaring people into believing in something to put money in a basket.
Wait. Oh, so you equate like the fear you felt in that relationship to what you feel like is preached in the Bible?
I think so. I think just anything with fear is like just wrong.
Yeah.
Anything that uses fear to get something is wrong. And I feel like it's just been a super flawed system that's never evolved. It's like that just all that lined up to me, it just screams this is a fucking scam. And like what isn't nowadays? It's like love is, labels are. The only thing that's pure is creating. And really, at the end of the day, that's more God's work than it is going to church. Like, I don't need to pray to you to do your work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say, and I don't know if this is correct or whatever, but for me personally, I've felt the same thing where I don't know that, I don't know, I don't think we can say for sure what is right and wrong from a religious standpoint. Like, this religion has it. Because there's so many millions of people that believe different things, and I think it all comes from good intentions, and I think it all comes from just trying to have a better understanding of the world around us. So I wouldn't put so much into the actual structure of a church,
Okay.
but more so what you feel. Because like for me, there was a lot of time in my life where I avoided God, or where I felt like God wasn't listening to me. And the more that I just sat back and, like, do you believe in a God? Because for me, I do. Just looking at the world around me, the way our bodies work, the way our energy works, I just don't believe that it could have just happened spontaneously.
Right.
Even the things that we take for granted, well, you know, this evolves into this evolves into this. It's like, well, what makes that happen? Like, it's just the way the world works? I don't think so. So I think if you believe that there's a God, which is a heavy thing to believe that something created you, then I think it's important to have a relationship with that to some extent. However it is, maybe, you know, there's so many different religions out there, like I said, and I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be, I believe every word of this.
Yeah.
Because I think all religion is everyone trying to make their best pitch at figuring it out. Because no one knows.
Yeah.
If we knew, everyone would believe in God or not believe in God. So I think it's just a very personal, unique thing. And if you try to listen to God, you try to speak to Him, I don't know, see where it takes you.
And it's like, what? Like, it gets to a point where it's like, what even is it? You know what I mean? What even is God? Is it what's around me? Is it, you know what I mean? It could be so many things.
Oh man, I can get real deep into that. Like, even thinking about like our personality, like why just us, man, compared to like all the other animals and everything? Like, why do we have a conscience and, you know, all these deep emotions and interactions with each other that it seems like nothing else has? It's like, that's just the way the world evolved? I don't know. I can't.
Like, why are we
I can't
separated by speech? You know what I mean? Like, there's not just one universal language, but like, I can pick up a vibe.
Yep.
Like, you can feel it in the air when you walk in a room sometimes. It's like, oh, the vibe in here is fucking... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like... Do you think that, like, the first universal language, like, was more of a mental thing?
Yeah, I think it's... I mean...
Think we can get back to that?
Because, like, in the same way that, you know, we're obviously different from other animals and other beings, I think there's still that base of, like, you know, two dogs can look at each other and feel out if the other dog wants to bite them or wants to, you know, be its friend. You know? I think we have that when we approach other people, even if we don't speak their language, we can feel their energy and we can feel, you know, how they're trying to approach us.
Yeah.
Which I think is really important.
Think there's heaven?
Do I think what?
Think there's heaven?
I don't know, man.
I think I'm just gonna fucking
This podcast has never taken this topic on.
Well, I can segue it back into music because I think that...
No, man, do whatever.
I think when I die, I'm just gonna be music. Like, I think that I can be frequency.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? I think that, like, I'm just gonna be just zooming.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's very naive to act like anyone knows.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean...
And they say the Bible is, you know, the Word of God. But I don't know. It's all written by man, so I feel like there's always some interpretation going on through it.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, yeah, I would just say I don't know exactly every fact that I believe, but I believe in a God, and I think my life has been better with God present than when I shut God out. So take that for whatever it is.
I could be purposely holding myself in like a purgatory to create.
I mean, if you believe in God, what's the worst? I'm like doing a fucking mission trip here on this podcast. But like, I don't know. That's how I honestly feel. Like, there's a lot of principles in the Bible about just, 10 Commandments for starters, like good thing, don't kill each other, don't steal from each other.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's basis. Like following the principles of it. It's like, I think I'm better off.
Yeah.
Than just not having that. So what do I gain from that?
Right.
But you got to be genuine to yourself, whatever you believe, whatever you think.
Yeah. We will figure it out.
Because I think it's also detrimental to yourself to blindly follow something.
Yeah.
You got to understand, you got to know what you believe.
I was. You know what I mean? Like, you grow up and you're just like, I have questions.
I think everyone does.
Yeah.
And you're a product of your environment. So if you grow up with everyone teaching you, this is what it is, this is what it is, that's obviously going to be what you believe. And if at some point you go, well, why is this that? Or how did this actually come to be? Then a lot of people will look at you like, well, who are you to question God? Who are you to question, what we've taught you?
That's the fear right there. That's how we can't evolve.
You can't. Because for me, it's like, how disingenuous and like shallow would it be for me to say I believe something that I don't understand?
Right.
So yeah, I think you just got to do your research, have your conversations, your relationship with the higher power, however you see it, and feel it out.
All right. Maybe I'll pray tonight, man.
Pray for a week, see how it feels.
Okay.
If you get nothing from it, Any topics you'd like to hit on to give a little advice for the people? We're all about advice on this show.
Oh, okay. If you hit a wall, give it sentience, man. Like, given what you do, sentience in life is like one of the most fruitful things I ever could have done for myself. So do that shit and don't let anybody tell you. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody tell you to do anything different. Like, if it feels good, like, just let it fucking feel good, man. Like, that's all I'm trying to do right now. I'm just like, I'm making some of the best music I've ever made in my life. Like, I'm about to drop some shit, and it just feels so good to be able to give. So, just give.
Do it for the love.
Yeah. Do it for the love and give, and everything else will just fall into place, man. If you keep God around.
We'll see how the prayers go.
Yep. Yeah, I'm start praying.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lovebird, thank you very much for being on the program.
Thank you so much for having me, man.